Watching today's winners and losers on Wall Street with our financial expert Rob Black, and a big surprise, I think, for a lot of us, this merger approved between U.S. Air and American. This is the largest airline in the world. A lot of people worried about what it's going to do for ticket prices.
Yeah, I think it's going to hurt like Colorado Springs. It's going to hurt the smaller markets enormously. But we, elite, who live in the Bay Area will appreciate it because San Francisco and Oakland, hubs of JetBlue and Virgin America will benefit enormously, as will Southwest. So big city to big city travel's great. Small city to small city going to get hurt. Secondary cities are known as market-driven monopolies. They tend not to do as well in big mergers. This is a land grab. Look at it as real estate. It's probably the last major merger ever in the airline industry because there's just not that many big boys left. Fares will drop on some routes, but like Omaha, Colorado Springs, Richmond, Virginia, you might as well drive there because fares will go up in those markets.
Some good business news. Volkswagen, this is kind of exciting. Volkswagen coming out with an electric car here in the U.S.
I don't like this story.
You're not excited. I'm excited.
I was excited yesterday listening to Elon Musk. He was on CNBC
He's always excited.
An hour.
For an hour.
And I hinged on every word. I was like, you had me. He's talking about bringing out a truck. I'm like, yes, you're going to make a truck like an F-150? He's talking about how space rockets will never run on electricity, but he expects a plane to run on electricity in the next 20 years. So, yeah, this story about VW, it goes 90 whole miles. 90 miles on a charge. It's basically
it's a start.
It's an electric lawnmower. That's what it is. Let's call it for what it is. It's got lithium-ion battery, 115 horsepower. 115 horsepower. Seriously, my lawnmower, 20 horsepower.
I'm not excited about the story anymore, Rob. You brought it down to earth.
But wait, it has all LED headlights.
Well, there you go.
Okay, and if you run out of gas, if you run out of fuel, or not fuel, if you run out of charge, they'll give you a free taxi ride to wherever you want to go.
Really?
That's part of yeah, it's just a horrible story.
Okay. All right, it sounded good. Paying at the pump, though, let's go back to gasoline, because at least gasoline is getting more affordable. Still, it continues to drop. Now, what do you do like with plays like with Bay Area oil companies like Chevron, ExxonMobil, strong stocks, dividend-paying stocks? Are they still good stocks as gas prices come down?
Long-term, yes.
Okay.
They're integrated oil companies, so they have a play from pulling it out of the ground to refining it to delivering it. So, yeah, I own shares of Chevron Texaco. I expect to own it for another 20-plus years for the dividend, not really for the growth, because electricity and electric vehicles and Tesla are going to hurt that whole angle. Cars are going further in America due to mile per gallon standards, due to lighter vehicles, due to less dominance of SUVs in the market out there. But this is a huge push for the overall economy. Historically, the stock market rocks and rolls anytime there's a 10% drop in gasoline prices, which we've seen from almost $4 down to $3 a gallon, plus taxes. Plus taxes. Don't yell at me that it's $3.85 at the pump. Blame California for that extra 85 cents.
We do have high taxes here on gasoline. We've seen weakness in the retail sector, but Macys with some gangbuster numbers for their quarterly earnings today.
And even more importantly, for their October numbers, which bodes well for their holiday numbers. If we spent happily in October, yay, let's go buy a suit, which Mark Dannon recently did. Take a look at a snappy suit here. What you have is if we're spending money at Macys, that means in October we'll probably spend money in November and December. Woo! It's going to be an okay Christmas season after all. This is a big tell. Now, JCPenney, Sears, and Kmart, they all stink. Macy's is a department store that I imagine will eventually stink, unless they're the last man standing is the way of looking at it. I still prefer the dollar stores in this type of economy where there's not a lot of job growth and no wage inflation, but it is what it is. It's a nice story for Macy's.
It is, and I bought my suit at Macy's. They had a 20% off sale. I love those 20% off sales.
You always try to grab me, and you're a good friend for trying to dress me up.
With me.
Because look at me. I'm shabby. He's chic.
And you can catch Rob Black segments on the Chrome 4 Morning News as well as on our 24/7 Bay Area News channel, Comcast 193. Thank you, Rob.
Yep.